screaming and blood everywhere.
A lot of action. Zombies fighting, heads exploding.
Bullet holes and, guts hanging out. A lot of body parts.
40 gallons of fake blood.
Blood all over the walls, and there's puddles everywhere.
Very sick minds.
A lot of blood, guts, and gore.
One of the things we really wanted to do in the second film was make a film that really satisfied all the fans of the game as well as fans of the zombie genre. We knew we really wanted to elevate the picture and do something different than the first movie. So I optioned a script called The Nest by two talented German writers, and we basically kept the premise from that, which was the hunt for patient zero, if you will, the original zombie, so we can extract a cure, and special forces. That was something that we got. It's ironic because in my original conversations with Uwe in Vancouver when we were making the first one, he said, so what will the sequel be? And I said, zombies on a college campus. I want to do Starship Troopers on a college campus. Ironically, the script that had been written had all those elements.
And Steve, yes, sir. Say your line backwards.
It takes a special person to be able to direct a film of this magnitude in 18 days.
We met the Bond company, obviously, to get the film insured at the outset and stuff, and we showed them the script and we showed them the schedule, and they just said, no fucking way, there's no way you'll get this done.
Working with Mike Hurst has been fabulous because we're completely simpatico. He's a writer also, so he's really respected the script, and we worked incredibly well together.
It was like fighting a war, like they all are, movies are always like fighting a war, so it was like trench warfare with your crew next to you. Mark Altman and Mark Gottwald are big horror fans, and that makes a big difference when you're making a horror film. If you're making it for people that really care about it and really want it to be good and really hoping to reach people like themselves.
He had ideas for some action scenes that I think really added to it, and so between Mike and I collaborating, I think we created some set pieces that will really be memorable. Well, I gotta tell you, I couldn't be more thrilled with this cast. Everyone from Ed Quinn, who I really enjoyed in Starship Troopers, who just has a wonderful sort of David Addison quality from Moonlighting about him, where he can be funny and sarcastic.
Sweetheart, I could kiss you right now.
But at the same time, you believe him as a tough and formidable hero.
And I play Stephen Ellis, lieutenant in AMS, which is the zombie task force that's been set up to stop the plague.
Emmanuelle Vaugier, she plays Alex. She's our female hero. She's an AMS agent.
She's very businesslike, right down to business, Kill the zombies, get the blood, get out.
Emmanuelle Vaugier is giving a great performance, sexy and smart.
What do you really do for a living?
I kill zombies.
All the way down the cast, we have James Parks, who's Michael Parks' son, who plays this sort of unhinged special forces guy.
We really make a nice couple.
Action!
I got a DNA sample.
Give it to me.
What?
I said give it to me! He has another agenda, it's an ulterior motive.
As I first started to read it, I said, this is zombie TNA. I don't get it, you know what I mean?
We do a lot of misdirects. We open the picture, and it's sort of like American Pie, and you think you're watching some teen-exploitation comedy.
Fill me up, soldier.
And all of a sudden, it becomes a zombie movie, and that was something we really added and had a lot of fun with.
I put it down, and I picked it back up again, and I saw the fun in it, and it's refreshing from that standpoint.
It's like the zombies have invaded this other genre.
Action! Directing a zombie film is like being a choreographer, really. It's like trying to choreograph the people and the camera so the camera can find people, pan to people, be surprised by people coming out of nowhere like the zombie in the back of the van. It's trying to get those sort of orchestrated moments so that you make people go, oh, and that's what you're looking for as a filmmaker.
We did not come this far to fail now. I was afraid of guns before I started this. Now I'm like, woohoo!
They really want us to look like Marines, which I appreciate. But I don't want to hold my gun like a girl.
They do got guys on set that have, you know, been through all of this as far as wars and army and training. And they give you everything that you need to go on. How to stand, how to walk, how to hold the gun, how to shoot the gun.
We have an amazing group of people, Almost Human, who did all the work on Buffy and Angel and a bunch of other feature films, including our last movie, All Souls Day. And they are remarkable artists. Robert Hall is so talented, his team, Jason Collins and everyone else.
I would look into these zombies, and they have these hideous sores, and some places with like all the veins popping out.
It was Mike's idea that this was a viral infection, so what you see is a lot of the damage and the infection spreading from the point of origin.
We had just come off the other film with the same producers, All Souls Day, and it was a much different kind of zombie approach, and we sort of had to really shift gears fast, because I think we only had a week or two prep between the other movie and this one. And that one we did really realistic dead people. And this is a little bit more hyper-realistic, a little bit more video game.
Part of the challenge of zombie films is to come up with sort of walks of life that zombies could have been killed in, you know, whilst doing and stuff. And so basically we kind of come up with sort of interesting sort of professions and costumes that people could be found in dead.
And there are different levels of infection, whether somebody has been infected for a while or just a recent kill, recently revived kill. And so there are different levels to that makeup. Alicia, who's been killed for the longest period of time, our original zombie, it's just terrifying what they've managed to achieve.
2 pieces on my face, full arms, contacts, bangs, the whole thing. Today, it's going to be a chest piece where the infection that it originally starts to spread, and it kind of like starts rotting out the skin.
There's just nothing like waiting in the lunch line with a guy with a, you know, an axe in his head.
It's strange when you're down eating dinner and there are a bunch of zombies, you know, sitting there eating with you, or people's blood-stained outfits or gnarled faces as you sit there with them on set waiting for the next take.
You know what they look like underneath all the makeup, and after a while you get used to them, you know, with half their face missing and their teeth, they have all these dentures in there.
What they can do now, it's magic. You know, movie magic, there it is, in a nutshell. Almost Human. Good job, guys.
I never cease to be amazed by their work on the production. I mean, they're just so talented, and they're very sick minds. There was a lot of question, are these fast zombies, are these slow zombies? That was a question I think that's consumed a lot of zombie fans lately who maybe haven't responded so well to the new trend to have zombies moving fast. And Mike came up with a wonderful compromise.
The idea was they were kind of sharks, and they'd sort of cruise through the water, just shambling about. And then when they got near to a victim, they'd suddenly go berserk. And that's what Lauren worked on the zombies with, and he made sure they never used their elbows. They weren't allowed to move their elbows, and they weren't allowed to move their knees so much. They had to sort of flail around with sort of slightly stiff limbs to give the sense that they've got a bit of rigor mortis going on and the rest of it.
The only way to get your hand from here to the person you're attacking is to throw it there with your shoulder, like that. I helped the director bring his vision for the film to life by getting an idea of what effect he wants the zombies to have. And then I create the way that the zombies are going to move, the way they're going to walk, the way they're going to attack. And then I'm here to teach all of the actors playing zombies, whether they're extras or principals, that movement, and to oversee it as we're shooting and to make sure that it's consistent throughout the film. They look kind of zoned out. Their eyes are just blankly staring. I'm telling everyone, it's sort of like there's a fly buzzing around in front of your head, and you're smelling and listening, and your eyes are just kind of coasting along with it as you're kind of sniffing the air. They're sniffing a lot and relying on that more than actively looking around for people. So that informs the way they walk. But then when they attack, they go into an entirely different mode. Suddenly, boom. My eyes focus and my hands just go from this to this. Now they're focused, and now they're in a feeding frenzy. So they become much faster, much more energetic. I come right in and start taking the bite. Very obvious lack of control. They don't have full control over their muscles, so they still move in kind of an erratic way, even though it's much more energetic. One, let me see what you got. And lots of biting, a lot of chomping.
Now, basically, it's like your body parts are dead. Your foot weighs like 1,000,000 pounds, so you're dragging your foot, dragging it. That's how they walk. And even your hands weigh like 1,000,000 pounds. They don't really bend at the wrist, so it's like just throwing motions, throwing their arms, even though their fingers can grab and everything. If they throw it and grab onto you, then you're through, you know?
Sticky dying on the move, I think it works for his character because he's such a hard-ass character that he can sort of take this virus and he can carry on being Sticky Fingers even though he's dying, you know. I've never seen zombies move whilst turning before, you know. You would always sit down and die and then get up. We wanted to have someone who managed to physically keep moving throughout the process. We thought that was quite funny.
It was imperative to me that this particular movie have the suspense that maybe was missing from the first movie. And the first movie, Uwe really wanted to make an action movie. Going into this movie, we wanted to make more of a suspense horror movie.
I think it's 95% of the movie we set out to make, which is the highest percentage I've ever managed in terms of what we envisioned it to be, you know, the way it turned out, because it was only ever meant to be a roller coaster ride of zombie fun, you know, that was always the point.
It's creepy, the idea of these people that have come back to life and all they want to do is eat human flesh.
Well, I think what people respond to about zombie movies is the visceral quality.
Being eaten by something is, you know, about as horrifying as it gets, I think.
Certainly the idea of loved ones coming back not quite right is something that is very scary and that grips people, you know, on a very basic level.
Are you scared?
Just rather not end up like my brother.
I'm a fan of Romero. I mean, he paved the way for what we're doing, and you know, certainly it's his rules that we're playing by. It's a great sandbox. I mean, you can't make a movie like this without paying homage to the master. But I think that you can't be slavish in terms of playing in the Romero universe. You got to put your own imprintur on it, and I think, you know, that's what we're doing. I think that, you know, Mike and I have been very influenced by the Fulcis and the Argentos and the Romeros, but we're trying to create our own universe.
My notion about House of the Dead 2 was to make the most entertaining film I could. I was all about the entertainment value of it. I didn't take it seriously. I didn't think it was going to be Citizen Kane. I didn't think it was going to be a classic. I just thought it was going to be a damn entertaining movie for a Friday night.
I think Mark Altman now already has House of the Dead 3 in his mind already.
We're laying the groundwork to sort of go into a post-apocalyptic House of the Dead 3, which we're also, you know, excited about. And if this film does well, then hopefully we can resolve the trilogy with something very epic.